tired of manually copying data into a spreadsheet or your CRM every time a new lead comes in? Or spending hours each week moving information between apps just to keep everyone in sync? These repetitive manual tasks are a major source of errors and inefficiency. Every minute spent on copy-pasting is a minute you could have spent solving actual problems. But what if you could connect your favorite apps and let them talk to each other automatically? That's exactly what n8n lets you do. By the end of this tutorial, you'll understand how n8n works, and you'll have built your first automation from scratch, a workflow that sends you a Slack notification whenever an important email arrives in Gmail. So what is n8n? It's a workflow automation tool that lets you connect different applications and services to perform tasks automatically. Instead of writing complex code to interact with APIs, you use a visual node-based editor. It's like creating a digital flowchart where each step represents a specific action. Unlike the n8n cloud, self-hosted n8n gives you complete control over your data and predictable costs. When you run n8n on your own Contabo server, your data never leaves your infrastructure. It's great for privacy-conscious users or businesses with compliance requirements. When you open n8n, you'll see the dashboard. This is your mission control. Here, you can see all your saved workflows, which ones are active and running, and your execution history. You can create new workflows, duplicate existing ones, or pause automations that need troubleshooting. Click to create a new workflow, and you're taken to the canvas. This is where you'll spend most of your time. This is the visual editor where you build your automations. You'll add nodes onto the canvas and connect them to define how data flows. On the left, you can see workflow settings and execution logs. On the right, when you select a node, you'll see its configuration options. Before we build anything, there's one more important area: credentials. To connect to different apps like Google, Slack, or GitHub, n8n needs permission to act on your behalf. Instead of hard-coding API keys into your workflows, which is a security risk, you store them here, encrypted. When you use a node, you just select the credential from a dropdown. Update it once here, and the change applies to all workflows using it. Every workflow is built from nodes. Nodes are pre-built blocks of functionality that handle the complex stuff for you. They fall into three main categories. First, triggers. Every workflow starts with exactly one trigger node. Triggers determine when your workflow runs. Triggers can be schedule-based, like running every Monday at 9 a.m. They can be event-based, like when a new email arrives or a GitHub issue is created. Or they can be webhook-based, listening for incoming HTTP requests from any service. Next, action nodes. These are the workhorses. They read from databases, send emails, update CRM records, post messages to chat apps, and much more. n8n has hundreds of built-in integrations. If one doesn't exist, you can use the HTTP request node to work with any REST API directly. Finally, logic nodes. These make your workflows smarter. The if node lets you route data down different paths based on conditions. The switch node routes to multiple paths. Merge combines data from different branches. Split in batches breaks large lists into smaller chunks to avoid API rate limits. Let's build something practical, a workflow that sends a Slack notification every time an important email arrives in Gmail. Before we touch n8n, we need to set up credentials for both services. Let's start with Gmail. First, in your Gmail account, create a label called n8n priority. This is what we'll use to tag important emails. Apply this label to a test email so we have something to work with later. Now, we need to set up a Google Cloud project to allow n8n to connect to Gmail. This takes a few minutes, but you only ever need to do it once. Head to console.cloud.google.com. Click the project drop-down at the top of the page to create a new project. Give it a name you'll recognize, like n8n integration. And create it. Make sure you switch to the new project once it's ready. Next, enable the Gmail API. Go to APIs and Services and Library. Search for the Gmail API. Click on it and click Enable. Now configure the OAuth consent screen. This is what users see when granting access. Go to the OAuth consent screen menu. Click Get Started. Fill out a name for your app, something like n8n workflow. Add your email address. Set the audience type to external. Again, add the email address. Agree, and click Finish. Now, navigate to the Audience tab and click Publish App to make this consent screen active. Now create the actual credentials. Go to Credentials via the APIs and Services menu. Click Create Credentials and choose OAuth Client ID. Set the application type to Web Application and give it a simple name like n8n. Now, before we can fill in the redirect URI, we need to grab something from n8n itself. So, log into your n8n instance and create a new workflow. Add the Gmail trigger node and click to create a new credential. n8n shows you its OAuth redirect URL here. Copy this URL. Switch back to Google Cloud Console. In the Authorized Redirect URIs field, just paste the URL you copied from n8n. Click Create. Google will now give you a client ID and a client secret. Copy these one at a time and paste them into the corresponding fields in your n8n credential panel. It's important that you copy the client secret now. Once you close this modal, you can't retrieve it again. So, with both values entered, click Sign in with Google. A pop-up will ask which Google account to use. Select the account whose Gmail inbox you want n8n to watch. You may get a security warning, which you can safely bypass. Grant the required permissions. Click Continue. And you're connected. Your Gmail credential is saved and encrypted in n8n. You'll only need to do this once. You can reuse it across any workflow that needs Gmail. Now let's set up Slack. Open a new tab and go to api.slack.com/apps. Click Create an App and choose from scratch. Give your app a name, something like n8n bot, and choose the workspace you want to use. Create the app. You'll land in your app's settings. In the left sidebar, click OAuth and Permissions. Scroll down to Bot Token Scopes. This is where you define what your bot is allowed to do. Click Add an OAuth scope. For sending messages, add the Chat Write scope. Also add Channels Read, so n8n can see the full channel list. Once your scopes are set, scroll back to the top and click Install to your workspace. Slack asks you to confirm the permissions. Click Allow. After installation, you'll see your bot user OAuth token, starting with XOXB. Copy this token. Back in n8n, add the Slack node to your workflow, and click to create a new credential. Paste your bot user OAuth token into the access token field, and save it. Just like that, your Slack credential is ready to use. With both credentials set up, let's configure the workflow. In the Gmail trigger node, select the Gmail credential you just created, and make sure that the event is set to message received. Let's also add a label filter so that it only triggers for emails with our label. Select the n8n priority label we created earlier. Test this node. If you have a test email with the label applied, n8n will fetch it and show you all the available data fields. This output is what flows into your Slack message. Before we set up the Slack node, we'll need to configure Slack itself so that the n8n bot is allowed to post in the channels you'd like. Go to your Slack instance. Select the channel you'd like the n8n bot to send messages to, and go to the Members menu. Click Integrations, Add an App, and add the n8n bot to this channel. You'll see it show up in the channel itself. With that done, let's return to n8n and set up the Slack node properly. Make sure that the right credential is selected, the resource is set to message, and the operation to send. In the Send Message To field, select Channel, and then, by name, enter the channel you'd like the messages to send to. When composing the message itself, you can make use of expressions, pulling in information like subject and sender, which will dynamically update with every mail. n8n makes this really easy to do in a modular way. Here's an example. We'll pull in the information from the From field. You'll see that it renders as a JSON expression. We'll do the same with subject. And you'll see a preview of the message here. Just like that, we're ready to test the full workflow. Go back to the workspace and click Execute Workflow. You'll see both nodes run and turn green. Now, let's check the Slack channel. And you'll see that the message has appeared in the channel itself. Now that we've confirmed the workflow works as intended, go back to n8n and give it a name. Then you can activate the workflow by publishing it. It's now running automatically in the background. With this simple workflow, you've taken an important step towards reclaiming your focus and letting automation handle the tedious work. And this is just one example. Take a look at your own daily routines. Identify a repetitive process that slows you down, and then ask yourself, what's the first thing I can automate? Start simple, build one automation at a time, and test thoroughly. And gradually, you'll build a library of workflows that save you hours every week. And remember, if you want to self-host n8n with complete control over your data, check out our n8n hosting package. Watch this space for more n8n tutorials. Happy automating!